A very warm and pleasant good morning to all my dear students. I welcome you all in science activity. Today we will be performing activity on the topic separation of substances from its mixture. I hope you remember we did chapter number 5, separation of substances. We discussed different methods of separating components from its mixture. So today we are going to study or we are going to perform an activity for the substances that are not soluble in their solvent. That means we are going to separate insoluble solid from its mixture. That is by the process of sedimentation, decondensation, and filtration. So let's proceed the activity. Through this activity, you will be able to learn how to separate mud from muddy water by sedimentation and separation of clean water by decantation and filtration. For this activity, we need a sample of muddy water, means solution of mud in water, two beakers, tea strainer, funnel, and filter paper. So I hope materials are clear to you. Let's proceed to the activity. That how to perform this activity. For this activity we need a sample of muddy water. First of all, I would like to tell you about the principle. What is the objective? As we are going to study about three terms, sedimentation, decantation, and filtration, these are the three methods by which we are going to separate mud from the solution of muddy water. Now, when we dissolve mud in water, it forms a solution, but mud is not soluble in water. The heavier component of the mud gets settled down at the bottom by the process of sedimentation. That process is called sedimentation. Now, when you remove the water that is collected above the sediment, that is called decantation. So, removal of water above the sediment is called decantation. I mean, the process by which you remove the water above the sediment is called decantation. Now, after decantation, we get this water, but that is not clear. Still, small fine particles of mud are there. Now, how to separate or how to get the clean water? That we will get by passing the filtrate through a filter paper, and the process of filtering the impurities present in mud water through filter paper is called filtration. So that is the way we can separate fine impurities from the decantate using a filter paper, and that process is the filtration. Now that is what we are going to perform today. This activity is safe to perform at home. You can also perform this activity side by side. So for this you need a muddy water solution, two beakers. If two beakers are not there, you can take two glasses, tea strainer, and filter paper. If filter paper is not there, you can use paper also. For to understand the concept of filtration, sedimentation, and decantation. Once we dissolve mud in water, after some time you will observe that these mud particles, heavy particles of mud, they get settled down at the bottom. And above the mud you can see the unclear water. So this is the process of sedimentation when the heavy particles of mud they get settled down at the bottom of the beaker. Now when we transfer this water into another beaker, that is the process of pouring water to separate water from mud particles. That process is decantation, and the water here collected is the decant. Now if we filter this water through tea strainer, you will again get unclear water having fine particles of mud in it. Now this is not a clear water. We need to get clear water from this. How do you get it? That is by the process of filtration when you pass this filtrate using a filter paper. Now if you try this water to get the clean water through this fine muslin cloth, still you are not able to get clear water because that cloth is very fine that allow the fine particles to pass through it. Now we will use filter paper to get the clean water. If you use these filter paper, you can see there are pores are there, thick pores are there which will absorb the fine particles of mud through it. Now we are going to filter through this funnel using filter paper. Through this you will be able to get clean water. As you can see, through filtration we are able to separate the mud particles from the water, and these are the mud particles that get deposited on the filter paper, and this is the filtrate which is clear water. So I hope through this activity the process of sedimentation, decantation and filtration method is clear to everyone, and you can perform this activity at home also. That's all for today. Have a nice day.